All right, folks. So Dwayne Alleyne with you once again. Let me just bring this mic a little closer. Hope you guys are hearing me. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. So guys, we're going again. Welcome to another episode of Outcome Control Business Solutions, where it is we help people discover their personality type, their strengths, their weaknesses, their motivations, the best way for them to go about making decisions, or at least increasing their decision making accuracy up well into the 90s. And so if it is somebody can make better quality decisions, it means that their life is going to begin to progress and move forward. It doesn't absolve them of challenges. Challenges still going to come, but because the accuracy of the decisions is so high, the whether something works out in their favor or does not work out in their favor, the learning experience, it's just so much to absorb from it that they do not look at it as a loss but as a learning lesson, which is so significant. So we're diving back into Mr. Musk. We're doing part 2 of his assessment, and the reason why we are looking at some of these successful people is to really prove how powerful these assessments are. Because like I said in the previous episode, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend that you really go back and look at it, where we looked at Mr. Musk, his type, his profile, his signature, his not self theme, some of these things that you could really go back over and see if it's lining up with him or not. But I digress. Coming back to the original point, the reason why we're looking at successful people to see if these assessments are lining up, because an already successful person would already have the trappings of success, right, in their life. They would have accomplished certain things. And so now if we were able to plug in Mr. Musk's information into our algorithm, let's say algorithm so to speak, I don't want to give that away as yet, without putting in his name, because we're using AI technology, so that it doesn't infer information from his it doesn't infer information that has already been attributed to his success. Then so we could just use a blank name with his information and have the AI technology pull out what would be the best outcome for this person. And it's so interesting that when you look at some of the outcomes or the things that will bring the most fulfillment to that type, it's so interesting to see how it lines up powerfully with Mr. Musk. So again, guys, the reason why we're doing this is just purely educational purposes, right? This is not designed to of course, to not mislead people in any way, shape, or form. It's just a discussion that we're having. We have to make those disclaimers because we're using a public figure. So any insights that we will be sharing is purely speculative, right? And is our interpretations, right? But the idea, like I said, behind it is to really encourage people to take a shot at what it is we are doing. It's complimentary, it's free, right? I've done it with several people and they are getting on track. I've done it with myself. I am on track doing these little podcasts and recordings. So we really recommend people to really jump in and take a taste of it. All right, so let's jump in, guys, with Mr. Musk and his goals. All right, so we're seeing goals here with Mr. Musk. So here are some short, medium, long-term goals in finances, relationships, health, and lifestyle that align with this G, human design, and would bring them the most fulfillment. So let's take a look at these goals. And again, these goals will be general, but at different points, you will kind of see it leans into some of the things that Mr. Musk has already accomplished, and maybe insight into things that he still desires to accomplish. All right, so what's this? Short term, track and refine spending habits to align with financial goals, budgeting and clarity. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Right, short term, medium term, build a consistent stream of income through responding to aligned opportunities, investments, or side business. That could be general too. life long term, achieve financial independence, allowing complete freedom to work only on passion driven projects. Well, we could say that applies to him, right? That all of the investments that he would have made in the earlys, specifically PayPal, that would have given him some of the resources to start some of these other companies like Tesla, and then Tesla branched off into SpaceX, and then all the other stuff that he's doing now. Let's take a look at lifestyle. Short term, create a space for personal growth through engaging, stimulating environments. Medium term, travel to new places or explore different experiences that allow them to respond to life's opportunities. So definitely traveling outer space is something big for him for sure. And long term, design a lifestyle of freedom, one that allows them to live and work on their terms, following their passions and cycles of growth. So I could see, well, yeah, that lines up pretty decently with him. And again, this could feel general as well too. And because anybody will say, hey, Dwayne, I desire a lifestyle of freedom, and I want to live life on my own terms and work on my own terms and follow my passions and cycles of growth. That could apply to anybody as well too. So goals are neither here nor there, right? Because goals are, there are things out there in the future that we want to accomplish. So most of us will be able to relate to the same outcome of whether it's being healthier, having a better lifestyle with our family, with respect to finances, being financially free. I think those things will be all common denominators for all of us, right? So let's bypass goals for now, right? And let's talk about challenges, setbacks, and how to overcome them. So this might be a little bit interesting. So let's see where it takes us. So what are some of these setbacks, challenges, and distractions that a G with this 3-5 emotional authority, what it really means for Mr. Musk? So let me go back up to see what his 3-5 profile is so that we could be on the same page here. Right, so that 3/5 profile, on the conscious end, he's a martyr, which means he learns through trial and error. Experimentation is key to success, so we know that for sure, lines up with him. Failure is a stepping stone, and they refine their path by testing things firsthand. You know that for sure. That lines up with him. And this fifth line, as a heretic, seen as a problem solver, even though people project expectations upon him, capable of bringing practical solutions, but must avoid being overly burdened by others' projections. So we know that 3/5 is, of course, that martyr and that heretic. So boom. So we know it's a martyr and a heretic we're dealing with. All right. So martyr learns through trial and error. Right. Martyr is the 3. 5 is the heretic, problem solver, right? Very interesting. Acting too soon instead of responding. So challenge. This G may feel pressure to initiate rather than wait for something external to respond to, leading to frustration and wasted energy. So this is a challenge here. Now it doesn't appear that way because we're looking at a man that is extremely close to his finished product, right? I mean, he still has goals that he wants to accomplish, but we could look at him and say, wow, he's accomplished a lot. So it is possible that he would have mastered these things, right? That he would have been able to learn how to not initiate things, but rather learn how to respond to some of these things. Because again, it says, even though he might feel the pressure to initiate rather than wait for something external to respond to, that actually leads to frustration and wasted energy. So what is the solution? Practice patience and trust that the right opportunities will come. When faced with a decision, pause and ask, am I responding to something real or am I trying to force this? Only move forward when there's a full body yes. So we can assume that maybe he would have mastered that in his own personal life. Emotional impulsivity and decision making. What is the challenge? The emotional authority means decisions should not be made in the heat of the moment. Acting based on temporary emotions, whether it's excitement or frustration, can lead to regret. And if you notice Mr. Musk, right? Of course, they said he has some type of degree of autism. I think he's on the spectrum. So what is the solution? Implement a 72-hour rule for major decisions, riding the emotional wave, journal feelings, and only move forward when clarity is present. If it's somebody who have mastered that, it's definitely him. Let's look at number 3. Fear of failure or repeating mistakes. Challenge, third line, Martha learns by trial and error, which can sometimes feel like repeated failure, leading to self-doubt or hesitancy to try again. Look at the solution. Shift the mindset from failure to experimentation. I think he has done an exceedingly great job of doing that, right? Even with all the rocket ships and all of creating Tesla and some of all of the mistakes that would have been made. Every misstep is the refining part. Track lessons learned and apply them quickly. Instead of dwelling on the past, ask, what's the best action I can take based on this lesson? I don't know about you, that lines up with him perfectly, right? In my opinion. You tell me what you think. Number 4, carrying others' expectations and projection. So as a 5th line, people see them as a problem solver, sometimes burdening them with unrealistic expectations or blaming them when things don't go as planned. That is Doge, right? That is the Doge campaign right there, right? Anyway, solution, set firm boundaries, learn to say no to obligations that don't feel right. And I don't know what that process was like for him to take on that task for the US president, but it is what it is. And regularly check, am I solving a problem that excites me, or am I doing this because others expect me to? I think that is a big question that even Mr. Musk has to ask himself now. That is he doing this whole Doge thing, Department of Government Efficiency, is he doing it to solve a problem that excites him? Maybe so. Maybe he's seen something that we aren't, that is exciting him. Or is he doing it because the president expects him to do it? Interesting. 5, frustration from slow progress. This G energy wants to build momentum, but when results take longer than expected, frustration can set in. So what he has to do, focus on consistent daily actions rather than immediate results. This G builds mastery over time. Sure, right. Celebrate small wins and use satisfaction as a guide to stay in alignment. That's some good stuff. Distractions from shiny object syndrome. Here is one. With an analytical mind and a strong drive for success, which we know he has, they may get distracted by new ideas, trends, or opportunities that pull them away from their core goals. I think Doge did that, right? Pull them away from his core goals, or maybe that's a part of his goals, I don't know. He's a way ahead of us in terms of his maturity in success and business and decision making and just staying consistent. So he probably understands that, right? Solutions, stick to one primary focus at a time until mastery is achieved. And I think he probably did that, right? With all of the companies that he would have built, the ones that he would have bought, including Twitter, right? But, before shifting gears, ask, does this align with my big vision, or is it just an escape from discomfort? Does Doge align with his big vision, or is it just an escape from discomfort? Who knows? Or maybe that's the next thing that he wants to master. We don't know. But tell me these things aren't lining up, guys. In the next session, we'll cover some of the affirmations. So like I said in the first video, we do something called affirmations and confirmations that really close the cycle of programming. So guys, tell me what you think. We just looked at Mr. Musk. We looked at his entire profile, his line, his signature. We looked at some of his goals, and again, the goals for me was really general, right? And all of us would want those things. But when you look at some of the challenges, tell me that doesn't line up, right? Now the challenges you could say, well, doing the challenges are also too sort of general. But I find it's getting very narrow down and specific in terms of maybe some of the challenges that Mr. Musk would have faced maybe in life, maybe things that he's facing right now with Doge, and even with some of the things that he would have probably faced in his past that he would have probably mastered. But guys, I'm interested to get your thoughts on it. Don't forget, guys, if this content is you're liking it, of course you like, you subscribe, you share, all of that good stuff. I always tell people, if it doesn't resonate with you, just go on to the next video, right? But guys, I'm going to catch you on the next one, where we're going to dive into those affirmations and confirmations to see if those things lined up as well. And guys, if you want to get your free complimentary assessment, hit me up on 333-8048. That's 868-333-8048. I'm a Trinidadian, Trinity to the bone, but we do offer these services to people in the US, Canada, the Dominican Republic, and throughout the Caribbean. So hit me up, guys. Take care. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.